Hello everyone, welcome to online lecture of Standard 10. Today we are going to study a new topic, Chapter 2, Historiography Indian Tradition. Tradition of Indian Historiography. So now we begin our topic. Here we have learnt about the Western tradition of historiography in the last lesson. Now in this lesson we are going to study about the historiography in the ancient period. In the ancient period in India, memories of the great deeds of ancestors and mythological lore, also memories of social transitions, were preserved with the help of oral recitals. Oral means whatever oral is there, that were kept. And the inscriptions on the Harappan seals and other artifacts confirm that Indians had mastered the art of writing as early as the 3rd millennium BCE, that is before Common Era, or perhaps before that. However, the Harappan script is not yet successfully deciphered. That means it has not been found. We know about Harappan civilization that the people were very advanced and it is called as urban civilization. But due to earthquake, the whole city was devastated. Dear students, here we can see the earliest known written documents of historical nature found in India are in the form of inscriptions. They are dated back to the 3rd century BCE, that is before Common Era, that is Emperor Ashok Maurya's time. Emperor Ashoka was the first Mauryan ruler. His edicts are inscribed on natural rocks and stone pillars. That means, do you know about Emperor Ashoka? Yes, Emperor Ashoka was a king. He was a ruler of Magadha Empire. Ashoka launched a campaign against Kalinga, which is the present name of Orissa, with a view to extend his empire. He won the war, but he was so moved by the terrible bloodshed that he decided never to launch any wars. By looking the piles of the dead bodies of the people at night, and he left everything, his kingship. Though he was Jain, but he embraced Buddhism and he started preaching about Buddhism to the people. Even he sent his son Mahendra and Sanghamitra to Ceylon, Sri Lanka and many other countries in the world. Yes, dear students, from the 1st century CE, inscriptions begin to occur on coins, metal, images and sculptures, and also on copper plates. Actually, they provide important historical information. We get to know about the dates of various kings, dynastic, that is hereditary, genealogies, means study of families, territorial extent and administration of various empires and kingdoms, and also important political events, social organization, climate, famines, etc. of the respective times. Yes, dear students, we can see the image of Emperor Ashoka, the images which are erected by Emperor Ashoka, Ashoka pillars. We can see the 3 lions, but there are 4 lions. One is seen backside and it is a government emblem. We can see also in the national flag, and also we can see the image of Sanchi Stupa, which is in Madhya Pradesh, and which he wanted to bring about love, and peace. That's why he erected pillars, edicts, and stone inscription throughout his kingdom. Yes, dear students, we can see the image of Sohagora copper plate. The copper plate was found at Sohagora district, Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. It is supposed to be from the Mauryan period. The inscription on it is in Brahmi script. The symbols known as tree in railing and mountain at the beginning of the inscription also occur on punch marked coins. Another symbol which looks like a structure erected on four pillars is supposed to be indicative of a granary. The inscription records a royal order that the grains stored in the granary should be distributed carefully. It is supposed to be suggestive of precautions taken in the times of a famine. Now, my dear children, we are going to study about the ancient Indian literature. The ancient Indian literature, including the epics Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana, we know the story of Lord Ram and about his 14 years of exile. And Mahabharata, we know about the battles fought between the Kauravas and Pandavas in Kurukshetra. We have also seen the serials, okay? Puranas, Jain and Buddhist texts, historical accounts by Indian authors and also travelogues. That means whatever they have experienced, the foreigners have visited in India. Foreign travelers are the important sources of history. Do you know that our country, especially Bihar, was known for the literature, Nalanda University. Even the foreigners used to take education over here. Okay. Dear students, writing of biographies of kings and dynastic histories mark an important step in the Indian historiography. Harshacharit, written in the 7th century CE by Bana Bhatt, is King Harsha's biography. Do you know Harsha? Who is Harsha? Harshavardhan, who was also known as generous king. It portrays a realistic picture of the social, economic, political, religious, and cultural life during the king's time.